Do they really think death can take me tonight? Fools! I will not die.
The old woman was supposed to die that night. Everyone in the house already knew it. Grandma Rose had been sick for weeks, and the doctor had warned the family that her time was near. But while everyone expected tears and prayers, the old woman began to laugh. Not a normal laugh. A dark, chilling laugh that made the room feel colder. Her weak body shook on the bed as she whispered into the darkness. Do they really think death can take me tonight? Her eyes slowly turned toward the window where the moonlight entered the room. Fools, she muttered. I will not die. At that exact moment, in another room of the house, a pregnant woman screamed in pain. Mary, the wife of Pastor Daniel, had suddenly gone into labor. And before the night ended, 2 souls in that house would exchange bodies. But no one would know the truth for many years. Pastor Daniel was one of the most respected men in his town. He led a small church and was known for his kindness and calm spirit. People trusted him. They came to him for prayers, advice, and comfort. His wife, Mary, was gentle and loving. After many years of waiting, she was finally pregnant with their first child. The whole family was excited. But one person in the house behaved differently. Grandma Rose. She was Pastor Daniel's great-grandmother. She had lived a long life and was already in her 90s. Some villagers respected her. Others feared her. Because long ago, people whispered that Grandma Rose knew things that normal people should not know. Strange traditional powers. Dark rituals. Forbidden secrets. Whenever someone mentioned it, Pastor Daniel always shook his head. My grandmother is just an old woman, he would say. But deep inside, even he knew something about her felt unusual. As Mary's pregnancy grew, Grandma Rose began acting strangely. Sometimes she would sit quietly and stare at Mary's stomach for a long time. One afternoon Mary noticed it and laughed nervously. Grandma, why do you keep looking at my baby like that? The old woman slowly smiled. Just wondering, she said softly. Wondering what? Mary asked. Grandma Rose leaned closer. I wonder what kind of soul is inside that child. Mary felt a strange chill run through her body. Another time, Pastor Daniel entered Grandma Rose's room and saw candles burning on the floor. Symbols were drawn in chalk around the bed. Grandma, what are you doing? He asked. The old woman quickly wiped the drawings away. Nothing, Daniel, she said calmly. Just old prayers. But the truth was something much darker. Grandma Rose had discovered that she was going to die soon. And she was terrified. Because she believed that when she died, something terrible was waiting for her. And she had already chosen her escape. That night, everything happened at once. Mary suddenly felt a sharp pain and cried out, Daniel, the baby is coming. The house became chaotic. Neighbors rushed in to help. Women gathered around Mary as she screamed in labor. While everyone was distracted, Grandma Rose quietly closed the door of her room. Her weak hands lit several candles. She placed a small bowl on the floor and whispered strange words under her breath. This body may die, she said slowly, but my soul will live. Outside, Mary screamed again. If you enjoy mysterious African stories like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because the next part of this story might shock you even more. Inside the room, Grandma Rose raised her hands and began chanting. The air became heavy. The candle flames flickered wildly. And then, she began laughing. A horrible, chilling laugh that echoed through the room. At that exact moment, the baby was born. And suddenly the entire house became strangely silent. The newborn baby stopped crying. And Grandma Rose collapsed on her bed with a wicked smile on her face. Morning came with terrible news. Grandma Rose had died during the night. The family cried and prepared for her burial. Grandma lived a long life, Pastor Daniel said sadly. No one lives forever. But something else had also happened that night. The baby girl Mary gave birth to was strangely weak. She barely cried. She only stared quietly at the people around her. The family named her Anna. 1 week later, something frightening happened. Anna suddenly stopped breathing. Mary screamed and ran through the house. My baby! My baby! For several seconds, everyone thought the child had died. Then suddenly, Anna began breathing again. But the way she looked at everyone in the room was strange. Too calm, too aware. Almost like an old person watching them. Years passed. Anna grew into a quiet little girl. But something about her was always different. When she was 12 years old, strange things began happening around the house. Animals started dying. The neighbor's chicken dropped dead after Anna walked past it. Food in the kitchen spoiled quickly whenever she touched it. One day Mary found several plants in the backyard completely dried up. Daniel, she whispered to her husband, something is wrong with our daughter. Even the neighbors began whispering. That girl is not normal, one woman said. She brings bad energy. Another man shook his head nervously. Since that girl grew up, strange things have been happening in this street. Pastor Daniel tried to ignore the rumors. But deep down, he was also afraid. Then came the strangest habit of all. Every single day at exactly 2 p.m., Anna would suddenly become restless. She would leave whatever she was doing and walk into the kitchen. But she never wanted normal food. Instead, she wanted raw meat. One afternoon Mary walked into the kitchen and froze. Anna was sitting at the table eating a piece of uncooked meat. Blood stained her lips. Anna! Mary shouted in shock. What are you doing? The girl slowly lifted her head. Her eyes looked cold. I'm hungry, she said calmly. Mary felt her heart pound in fear. You can't eat that, she said. Suddenly Anna began laughing. A deep, chilling laugh. The exact same laugh Grandma Rose used to make. Mary dropped the plate in her hands. That night Pastor Daniel decided to search Grandma Rose's old room. The room had remained closed for years. Dust covered the furniture. As he opened an old wooden drawer, he found something unexpected. A small black notebook. Inside the notebook were strange writings and ritual instructions. Symbols. Prayers. Dark traditional secrets. His hands began shaking as he read one particular page. The title at the top read, Soul Exchange Ritual. His eyes widened as he continued reading. The ritual described how a dying person could transfer their soul into the body of a newborn child. The final line froze his blood. Take the soul of the unborn and let the old spirit live again. Daniel suddenly remembered the night Anna was born. The candles. The strange silence. Grandma Rose laughing before she died. And slowly, a horrifying thought formed in his mind. Then he heard a voice behind him. Daniel. He turned around. Anna was standing in the doorway. The girl walked slowly into the room. Her eyes were calm. Too calm. She looked at the notebook in Daniel's shaking hands and smiled. So, you finally found it. Pastor Daniel's voice trembled. Anna, what is this? The girl tilted her head. Then she spoke words that froze his soul. My favorite great-grandson. Before we continue, if you love emotional African stories filled with secrets and mystery, make sure you subscribe, because you won't want to miss what happens next. Daniel's legs almost gave way. Only one person had ever called him that. Grandma Rose. Anna began laughing. The same chilling laugh from years ago. You were always the curious one, Daniel, she said softly. Even when you were a little boy. Pastor Daniel backed away slowly. No, this can't be possible. Anna stepped closer. Did you really think death would take me that easily? She whispered. The girl's voice became deeper. Older. More familiar. You buried my body, she said calmly. But you never buried me. Pastor Daniel finally understood the terrible truth. The child he had raised for 12 years, the daughter he loved, was not his daughter. She was the woman they buried long ago. Grandma Rose. Alive again. Inside the body of a child. Anna smiled and whispered softly, Family is forever, Daniel. And that was the moment Pastor Daniel realized something that would haunt him for the rest of his life. For 12 years he believed he was raising a daughter. Until the day he discovered. He had been raising his own great-grandmother all along. But if you discovered your daughter was actually your great-grandmother, what would you do? The nightmare in that house was only just beginning. And what happened next will shock you. Subscribe now. And watch out for part 2.